Welcome to Spice Mantra. This is Aditi Thatte, and again, we've been talking about the holidays, and I really wanted to bring something that was festive and what I do for holidays around in my kitchen. And it's a little bit different. It's not the traditional. So today I've talked about, I'm going to be talking about puddings, a rice pudding, which you're all familiar with the bread pudding. Some of the ingredients are the same, but some are different. Rice pudding was something that I grew up with. In fact, my mother made this for first time after she got married. She'd never ever made a dessert before. So it's very special to me, and I'm going to share this with you. Simple ingredients. We have a basmati rice, which is you use about a half cup for this dish. And you have 2 cups of milk. And I have some butter, unsalted butter, and cinnamon. And again, we have the cinnamon bark here. What I usually do is, this is the Indian cinnamon, but you can use the regular cinnamon that you get at the store. And the best thing would be if you can get a spice grinder and just run it through and get it to be this fine. I'll just make room for David Chatterton to get this on camera. So it's the regular cinnamon, there's nothing that's different, but the difference is in the spice when you cook with it or when you sprinkle it, it's nothing better than the fresh one. The one that you get from the store, in the jar, you open it, you don't know how long it's been sitting on the shelves. So you definitely want to try this, but again, don't go out of your way to go buy a spice meal if you're not, if you're not really a big cook. You can use the cinnamon, regular cinnamon from the jar is fine. But trust me, if you use the, put it through the spice grinder, it really makes a huge difference. So that's cinnamon, and then we also have talked about saffron almost probably in everything that I do. So I have strands of saffron, and you get them in these tiny little containers. And you used to have to go to specialty markets to buy them, but these days you could buy it at regular. In fact, I think I got this at Roach Brothers. So you can buy it in your supermarket. You just want to get them at the international aisle. It's a very expensive spice, so you want to be very careful with it when you use. And it just brings a quality that I think you can't really compare with anything else. So that's saffron. You'll be using a few strands of saffron in the rice pudding. And generally, this is something that my mother certainly didn't use. But since I've lived here for a long time, and my kids love the vanilla, I use that. This is a vanilla bean. I'm sure you're familiar with it. A few years ago, it was really hard to get it. You had to go to a specialty market. But again, I got this in the regular supermarket. The way you use this is you just kind of split it right in the middle, because the vanilla is right in the center. That's what you really want to get. And you scrape it, and you scrape it with the back of your knife. And you'll see all that stuff coming out in there, the dark. That's the real intense stuff. And once you start using a vanilla bean, you're never going to go back to the bottled stuff. So this is something that if you see it in the store, buy it. It's well worth it. It's a little expensive, but again, it used to be much more. I think I paid probably like $5.99 for 2 vanilla beans, but it's well worth it. For the special holiday time, you can buy this. Again, otherwise, you can just add a little bit of the vanilla to the rice pudding. So I'm just going to save this right here. I'll be using it when I cook the dish. So another special thing, again, that my mother probably never did was condensed milk. The way she did it was elaborate. She would make the condensed milk herself, but you know what? You don't need to do that. For this, there are places where you want to use the real thing, like where I did the vanilla and the saffron and the cinnamon. You take the time to do it. but this is something I wouldn't recommend. When you're trying to do condensed milk, buy it. It comes in a jar. Somebody did that for you. It's not labor intensive, and it's good. So again, it's rich. You want to be careful how you use it. But it's holidays. I know we're going to go to the gym after, right? So go ahead and use it. Your friends will appreciate it. And you'll be cooking something that's a little different. It's a welcome addition to the table. And I know that my friends have tried it, and they love making this dish. It's simple, easy, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. The other ingredients that you see here are slivered almonds and raisins. So for this dish, where I have a half cup of basmati rice, 2 cups of milk, and you want to use whole milk. You know, if you for any reason can't drink whole milk or don't want to use it, you certainly can use the other type of milks. But to get the consistency that we're looking for, you want to make sure that it is whole milk. Then we have a 1/4 cup of raisins and a 1/4 cup of the almonds, and that's just for the garnish. And those are just going to be stirred in the unsalted butter to enhance the flavor. The raisins are going to plump up, and I'll show you that in a minute. And you want to enhance the flavors of the nuts, the almonds, in a little bit of butter and get them light brown. And again, I think it's all about layering. It's all about enhancing. And most of all, it's cooking with a lot of love. You really want to be present. You really want to do this. And to me, it's such a relaxing. I come home in the evening from work, and sometimes I crave for something like a dessert. And this is something that I do very often because it's easy. I always have rice at home. I always have milk at home. You know, all the ingredients that you see, it's in your pantry, except maybe for the condensed milk, or for those that absolutely love desserts. That's something you might have. But it's easy to pick up, you know, so it's very, very easy, and I'm going to show you. And I would definitely want you to try all these dishes at home for your holidays, perhaps, and make them special. We are ready to do the rice pudding. I have my stove on already. You want to go medium-high when you start working. So basically, I'm just putting it's about a tablespoon of butter. So a little bit more. I'll be like Paula Deen and, you know, do twice as much. But no, I'll be good. I'll just do 1 tablespoon. You just want to melt the butter. And the butter, again, is unsalted butter. You don't want to be using anything else. Or if you're familiar with ghee, which is clarified butter in the Indian cooking, you do get it in the stores sometimes in the international aisle. That would be great to use. But otherwise, you know, this is fine. You can use the unsalted butter. You don't want to add salt to this because salted butter, because it's a dessert dish. And to this, I'm going to be adding a half cup of white basmati rice. If you don't use the basmati rice, you can just use the regular rice. It doesn't matter which rice in this case, but you want to make sure it's white rice. And all we are really doing here is lightly sautéing it. You don't want to get it brown. You just want to coat the butter, and you know, at this point you can adjust the heat a little bit. The slower, the better in a way. And again, for the convenience of, because I'm on TV rather, not convenience, I'm turning up the heat a little bit. So this is all you're really looking for. You don't want to brown it. It's really coated with the butter well. You don't need more. See how this is turning color a little bit already? You don't really want that. So at this point, I'm just going to be adding the milk into it. So for a half cup of rice, white rice, you're adding 2 cups of milk. And as you see, I didn't add any water to this at all. And usually when you cook rice, it's generally 2:1. So you do 2 parts water, 1 part rice. But with this, because I really want it to be very soft, very mushy, it's like kind of like sticky rice if you've ever had that. That's kind of what you're looking for. So I'm just using the wok here. You probably, you can use a dish where you can cover and simmer at the end. But I just wanted to make sure that you're able to see it, and that's the only reason why I'm using a wok. And you sort of see like already a golden brown color from the butter in there. At this point, I will go ahead and add some saffron into it to enhance that color and, of course, the flavor. And you use about 11 to 9 strands. And since this is my last bit here, I'm going to dump all of that in there. And you'll see how it'll start changing the color right away because the milk is getting hot in there, mixing with the rice, and you really get a deep yellow orange, like a fall color, like a fall foliage color, and I love that color. And as it cooks down, your whole rice dish, it doesn't turn orange or anything like that, but it really has a nice tinge. It's not pure white. It's off-white with a little bit of the saffron and the yellow colors in there. And this is a really comforting dish. And my mom made this the first time that she made it. She would tell us this hilarious story that she didn't know how to do it, so she took rice and she took milk and she took sugar, dumped it all together, and she kept stirring it and stirring it. 2 hours later, nothing happened. And the reason really why the rice didn't cook was because she put the sugar in too early. So just remember that unless you get the rice cooked, don't add sugar to it, especially for desserts, because the sugar just makes, I'm not exactly sure of the process, because usually we concentrate on my mom's hilarious story. So, and my father had a sweet tooth, of course, and he's like, where's the dessert? She goes, oh, I don't have it. But she just left it on a coal, like a little grill, like a stove that they would have back in the day. And in the morning when my dad had some of that, he said that was the best thing, which means it took about 7 to 10 hours to cook it, or whatever time that was, so you don't really want that. And I think the purpose for me of that story was, even though I didn't really know how to cook when I was a child, or till I was a teenager, or till I got married, really. But I remembered that, okay, you don't add sugar to a dessert, especially if you're cooking it. And so here, when it starts getting to a boil, you would put a lid on it, turn it down to a simmer, and check it every 5 to 7 minutes, because you don't really want it to stick. So you stir it and turn the heat down completely and simmer. So in the interest of time, I won't be able to show you that. But what happens is it really cooks down, and the milk is all absorbed, and it gets very soft cooked, and it gives, see that color that you have right there. You get that with the rice. So at this point, I'm not going to do it right now because, like I said, if I dump the sugar in there, I won't be able to ever cook the rice till tomorrow, or maybe not. I don't have the coal stove, so it might not work with this gas range that I have. So basically what you're really looking for is that the rice is cooked, all of the milk is absorbed, and you have a kind of an oatmeal-y consistency, pudding at the end. Then you add the sugar. So in this case, 3/4 of a cup to a cup, depending on if you like it sweet. You can go more or less. So it's really your taste. So once the milk is all absorbed, and that's when you add the sugar. And when you add the sugar, again, it's going to change the soft consistency, and you'll see it almost get to a almost like a oatmeal-y consistency, like when you're cooking oatmeal, but you stay with it for another 10 to 12 minutes till all of the sugar is melted in. So and it gets thick very quick. So at that point, you do the sugar, and then you add the other ingredient, which is condensed milk, and that's the secret ingredient in here, which my mother, sweated over making. but you don't have to do that. Like I said, you just really get the can, and this is about half of the 14-ounce can. And they do go on sale during the holidays, so take advantage of it and make it, or not make it, or add it to your dishes where you can. You don't want to be doing it all the time because it's condensed milk and it's flavorful, sweet, and sinful. But so again, I keep repeating, just do it only after it's cooked. I'm just showing it for the convenience of it. So when once it's all done, then you just add some ground cardamom to it and mix it, and then some cinnamon. So not at this stage, but you'd be adding the cardamom and the cinnamon once it's all cooked. And final step that I want to show you is that you would garnish it. Once it's all cooked, you pull it off, put it in a nice bowl, and I'll show you the garnish. I have a small saute pan here. So you do, again, 1 teaspoon to tablespoon. I'm going to be like Paula Deen, and add a little bit more here. This is just for the garnish. I'm going to be lightly sauteing almonds and raisins in here. I'll do the raisins first because they kind of plump up, and then once the heat is turned off, they go back, but they get nice and juicy, and that's the idea. Here again, you're really not browning the butter, or you're just melting the butter. So I'm going to add the raisins. So that's a 1/4 cup of raisins in there. I like using the dark raisins because I think the contrast and the color looks amazing when it's done. It's the yellow-orange rice pudding with all the wonderful ingredients in there, the condensed milk, the milk, cardamom, and cinnamon. So really you're looking for a light brown. See how it starts when it starts to do that. They're starting to plump up a little bit. And that's when I would add the almonds. If you are particular, you can also do it separately. You can do this. This is the stage you would remove. Of course, you would use half the butter. You don't want to dump all of that in. And then 1/4 cup of the slivered almonds. I like using this because, again, it adds another layer rather than any other form of almonds in desserts, because I don't want to be biting into the whole almond in this case. And this is all done for you. You can do it yourself or buy it at the store. It's not that hard to buy these. You just have to look for them a little more carefully, because you also get the other ones without the skin on it, the slivered almonds. So this is something that I just like to do because they're softer, and they have a nice crunch without having to bite into it. I like enjoying my desserts. So that's it. This, you're not looking for anything more. You're just coating it with hot butter to bring out the flavor, enhance the flavors of the fruit and nut in this case. It's nothing else. It just adds another depth, another layer, another dimension, whatever you want to call it. And so once you do that, again, you remove that from heat, and you want to pull it away right away, because the more if it sits in the dish, it sits in the pan, it'll start to get brown. So you just want to definitely remove from heat, and that's what you'd be using. There's another step that I really forgot to tell you is that I showed you the vanilla bean in the prep before. So you just slit the vanilla bean, take out all of the wonderful vanilla, which I have right here. So it's a little bit, but it goes a long way because it really enhances the flavor of it. And you do it at the end, but I'm just going to add that to the milk here, because unlike the sugar, you can add the vanilla if you want it towards even during cooking. But again, if you're using not the vanilla bean, you can just go ahead and put the vanilla at the end with the cardamom and the cinnamon. And I hope you really get to try this. It's very easy to make, and I've had a wonderful time doing this dessert with you. And I will have my friend come over, Hong will come over and taste it for me. She's promised that, and I'm hoping she'll come and do this for me. And Dave, I hope that you will be able to eat some of my desserts today. And thank you all for coming and making my day into my kitchen and helping me bring Spice Mantra to everybody. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. As you can see, I'm just about finished plating this, and I've garnished the rice pudding that I made. And I have a special taste tester with me. Welcome, Hong.
Thank you, Aditi.
And thank you for stopping by to taste this. So let me give you, I know you like soft rice, right?
Yeah, I do.
And hopefully this will remind you of home.
We actually have a lot of dessert dishes made out of sticky rice. Is
Oh,
that
okay.
sticky rice?
This is, it's actually the white basmati rice.
Oh.
But the ingredients that I've used, I cooked it in milk. And then I added condensed milk and, all of that. So I would love for you to taste it. Doesn't it look good, huh?
It does, and I'm hungry too.
Okay.
I haven't had anything. Let me see.
Right.
Oh,
And she's a real rice eater, so, I want to know.
do I have to say that it's good?
You better. You better.
It is really good.
Yeah, so it's, how can you go wrong with all the ingredients in there? But, it's just the cooking process. You take the time, you cook it on low heat, and this is what you end up with. And it's almost like, look how thick it got, Hong. Is that similar to what you ate? Is it like, anything that
we
you
don't
ate in
use,
Vietnam?
We have a lot of, as I said, sticky rice dishes, but I don't think we have raisins.
Okay.
Because I don't think raisins is not really popular in my
Okay.
not my country. I tend to say my country, and my kids corrected me. You've been here 30 years.
Right,
You should not say my
I get
country.
the same, so yeah.
So yeah, we didn't have raisins, but even like this one, I forgot
The almonds?
almond. We don't have that.
Okay. So I think like some of the garnishes, since India is so rich with all the spice and nuts, pretty much in everything you'll find this added on. And again, this was something that it's expensive before. Now everybody can afford it, but it used to be expensive. So instead of mixing it with, they would garnish it so that the dish picks up and looks nice. And again, they were made for festive occasions. If you did this for at home, then you would not put maybe not the condensed milk, maybe not the raisins, maybe not the nuts. So when you just made it for every day, it would be plain. It would look like sticky rice. So this is for parties. This is for
Really
holidays.
good, Aditi.
You like
really
it?
Yummy, yeah.
All right.
The thing is, you didn't give me a lot of almond. I like vegetables.
There we go. We'll get you some more of the nuts in there.
Just the.
See, the raisins keep coming to you, Hong, There we go. Okay.
Thank you, Aditi.
Yeah.
Now I need my tea. I usually eat
Green tea.
sweet, yeah,
Right,
sweet
right.
stuff with tea.
And you should see Hong, at the studio, she's as big as her, really, and I'm not exaggerating. Right, Dave? Chatterton, our
Chatty, would
camera.
you like to try?
I'll try it afterwards.
Yeah, so
Really
would you
good.
try this? Would you make this for family?
Actually, I've been watching all your shows, and it seemed very easy. All the things, the dishes seem very easy. I want to try.
I think, that's my intention, really, to have everybody try. Because people get intimidated when, you go to the restaurant, in an Indian restaurant, all these dishes, you kind of don't know what's in there. And honestly, this dish had, like 5-6 ingredients. And it's very, very simple to make once you know the steps. And, we have recipes. We're going to give you out recipes along with the show. So if you have any questions, comments, definitely give us a call, write to us. We'd be happy to know. And thanks for all of you who've been stopping me and saying hi, and that you recognize me from Spice Mantra. And also people have been honored to know that some people tried doing the dishes and it was simple and easy to follow. So I know that Hong is going to be trying. And
I don't cook, but after seeing Aditi's dishes, I really want to try.
Oh.
It tastes good too. Aditi usually brings some back to the studio and share with us.
So thank you, Hong. And so I hope you try it, really, honestly. It's easy, simple. And like I keep saying, that's what I want you to try it at home. I try to make efforts to bring this to you because this is what I grew up with, what my kids grew up with, and now I'm trying to have my friends taste it. So, Hong, come back, visit.
I will.
Okay, and I want you to taste other desserts. I know you're not a hugely dessert person, but if you like it, I'm happy to make this for you.
Thank you, Aditi.
The next dish is a very simple dish that I'm making. It's saffron yogurt. Most of you eat yogurt, and this dish is actually a dessert in India. Once you make this, you can serve it. It's an elegant, simple dessert that you would be able to serve. It's kind of like Greek yogurt. I have about 4 cups of yogurt here. This is plain whole milk yogurt. You definitely want to be using whole milk here because the other fat-free has a lot of water content. And the idea is that we are really getting rid of the water to make it like Greek yogurt, creamy, custardy at the end. So basically, when you look at it, even when you get the yogurt from the store and take a look at it, there's a fine film of water on top. When you look at it, you can see it. Even here, see how it is, like there's a thick yogurt and then there's like a watery layer. So basically that's all the water content. So we need yogurt, obviously, for this dish. And like all my other dishes, they're simple things. You need saffron, because it's saffron yogurt, and the flavoring is cardamom. It's very simple. It's nothing else that you're doing in there. And it's ground cardamom. You can buy it at the store, or you can make it. You can make it yourself. You would take the. If you wanted to keep these pods just the way they are, you would be able to grind that in the spice grinder. But if you don't like that, it has a little bit of a fibery. It's rough. If you don't want that, you can remove that, and then this is what you'd end up with. This is how it looks. So you grind that, and so ground cinnamon that you get at the store is made with the, not the whole pod, but just with the seeds. So that's really very simple. That's all you need. You need sugar to sweeten it, and almonds to garnish it. Now, I'll show you how this is done. One of the first things that you want to do is you need a little bit of milk. It's really about a tablespoon of milk. So you add saffron to that. This is just to get the color. We're not cooking with this dish with anything, so that's why we needed the warm milk. I'm adding, again, 7 to 9 strands of saffron in there, and you'll immediately start to see that the color in there. See how the warm milk changes the color to a nice orange, deep orange color, and as it sits in there and gets mixed with the yogurt, it's going to really enhance the colors even more. So that's kind of what you're looking for. This milk has been sitting out for a little bit, so if it's warm, a little more than lukewarm, so you just want to have the saffron sit there for a little bit, and it's just, it smells wonderful. I love this dish. It's simple to make, easy to make, and I keep repeating myself, but I would like you to try this. So with this, you just add in your serving bowl. You can even make that in your serving bowl and just kind of clean it up after and serve it. So it's a easy dish without a lot of dishes that to clog up your sink. So, try this at home, and you'll see how easy it is to make it. So basically what you're really doing is, it's a process. It takes a little while, even though it's a no cook. You can, if you have guests the next day, you want to prepare it the night before. Basically what you're really doing is, you want to get some layers of cheesecloth. In this case, I've just used a, not even a cheesecloth. I find that a washcloth makes it easier. So just get a, clean washcloth. I'm just going to move this so Dave can see what I'm doing. I put this in a strainer, and I put the yogurt in there. So I put the regular yogurt into the washcloth, and usually this takes up to the 4 cups. If you are making a bigger batch, you want to use a bigger strainer, a bigger cheesecloth layers or muslin, something that can hold the yogurt and get all the water. And I've used a strainer, and I just put the yogurt in here, and I really put a rubber band around here and tie it like that. And then put a bowl underneath and leave it in the refrigerator for overnight or about 6 to 7 hours. So you'll really be surprised to see what happens next. I definitely know that when I showed this to Hong and Dave, they were surprised to see the water content. This is how much water comes out of that 4 cups of yogurt. And we don't realize that, but that's how much it is. And again, the Greek yogurt is strained yogurt that you buy at the store. But if you make your own, it's fresh. But if you're in a hurry and you just want to use the Greek yogurt from the store, the plain, not flavored, this is the way to do it. And plain whole milk yogurt if you can, because the flavor is amazing. And a little bit of the fat content in this is not a bad thing, I think. So the other thing is, if you use a non-fat yogurt, you would not get this amount at the end. You would not be able to, it'll be half that. So you have to take that into consideration. You might as well use the whole milk yogurt, because also the texture is different, because the fat content makes a difference, if you use whole milk. This is what you end up getting. It kind of looks, doesn't look very good right now, but once we get it out of that cheesecloth, or the washcloth in this case, it's great. What I do is I end up buying these things on sale, because I make a lot of these desserts. I make my own paneer also, which is the homemade Indian cheese. So I buy them by the dozen, and they're disposable. I just throw it out, because really, who wants to sit and wash this? If you want to do it, it's fine, but I just dump it and throw it away. And I know Hong won't like this, because she recycles everything, but it's a pain to wash it. But so once you have that, you take the yogurt, and it comes out fairly easy, because it's nice and thick like that. So you try to get as much as you can. And now I'm thinking about Hong here again, because she wouldn't want me to throw it away just like that, at least. So, so here it is. It almost looks, it looks like ricotta cheese, and that's kind of, it'll give you an idea of what you want as far as the consistency goes. So I have that here, and what you want to do is whisk it to make it smooth and creamy. Now it does look on the inside, it's a little more creamier. So I'm just going to try to get it all even. Let me get this out of here too, because that doesn't look very attractive. And remember, I had the milk with the saffron in there, so I'm also trying to incorporate that. So I mix that all up here. And at home, you want to probably give it a little more time. In the interest of time, I'm just going to take a few minutes to really get that going. It shouldn't, I guess I shouldn't be wearing bracelets when I do this, but it shouldn't take too long. So you get the idea. So once you get it creamy like that, and you'll do a better job at home than I am doing here. You just want to get it almost like a thick whipping cream at this stage, and you can see how it is. I think that's exactly what it looks like thick whipping cream. But that's going to thin out when you add the sugar to it. So at this point, I think I'm ready to go ahead and add the sugar. So for when you look at this, you want to try to add equal sugar or a little bit more, depending on, if you don't like it very sweet, you can go down on the sugar or you want to go up. But usually the measure is, when you look at this, that's how much you want. In this case, it's about 3/4 of a cup. I have it all spread out here, but if you put it in a bowl, you can actually see that it's about three-quarters of a cup. So I'm going to put the sugar in here, and with this, you definitely want to use only white sugar. Most of the dishes that I'm making today have white sugar. Mine has a little lump in there, but I'm just going to mix that all up. And this is something that I had never eaten before, not like this. When I was young, my mother would, put sugar in yogurt and give it to us. But when I got married and I was at my husband's place, this is one of the desserts. And in their house, desserts were like breakfast, lunch, dinner. Pretty much the whole community just eats desserts. And that kind of surprised me in the beginning. But after I caught on, I got used to how nice it is and how I love it. I was not a big dessert person before, but my husband is, so I ended up learning how to make these dishes. And of course, I eat and I put on the calories. He doesn't, and I am jealous and I hate him for it, but what can I say? I'm a little more conscious now, but I do make a lot of desserts. You get this creamy consistency, and as you can see, I've got it all. It looks kind of like Yoplait yogurt, as Dave was mentioning earlier to me. I'm going to be adding the cardamom at this stage, the ground cardamom. And as I talked before, this is the whole cardamom, and then this is the pods. When you open the pods, this is what it looks like, and that's the ground one. So an 1/8 teaspoon, so it's a pinch, and mine is a never a pinch. I'm adding a little bit more because I love the flavor of cardamom, and it's really interesting to see how it grows. So if you ever get a chance, just do some research and look up the cardamom, and it's amazing the conditions that it grows in. And Kerala is one of the places in India where you get all these spices growing. It's just amazing. The climate is kind of like Seattle, but because it's tropical there, they control a lot of the world spice market. So it's a beautiful country, and I think they call themselves God's own country. So if you're ever visiting India, you should try to go to the spice land, which is Kerala. And in fact, I haven't even really gone there. I've just seen, heard so much about it, pictures. So probably my next trip for Spice Mantra, at least, I would love to go and get some pictures from there, or videos, probably pictures, and bring it to Dave so he can incorporate that in my shows. Hopefully sometime soon I will get to Kerala, the spice land of the world. So this is just about it. And then once it's done, you end up, you want to put it in a nice bowl. Since I was whisking away here, this is not my serving bowl. I will put it in a different bowl when I show you the next step. And you're simply cleaning it all up, putting it in a nice bowl, and at this point, the sugar is all melted. You don't really see anything, and when you see that creamy consistency, you know that it's done. It takes about probably 3 to 5 minutes to get it to that creamy consistency. And if you see any sugar crystals in there, or the texture of the sugar, that means it's not done. So just keep whisking away till you get the really smooth, custardy consistency. And you can just garnish it. I'll just show you right now. So just garnish it with slivered almonds, and that's it. You can garnish it with pistachios. In this case, you don't really want to use raisins. It doesn't go with the flavor. So it's either pistachios or almonds. I really wouldn't recommend anything else. And there we go. We have the saffron yogurt with some nuts in it. It's healthy, it's good for you, and you can get the kids to eat it, or you can serve it as an elegant dessert at your dinner parties or your holiday parties. And most of the dishes that I've done in this episode have been really with holidays in mind. You know, this is the season. We're in fall and then going into December. I am not at all a winter person, so I keep surrounding myself with a lot of food, friends, a lot of get-togethers. You know, your summer days are done, your relaxing is done. So this is when you party, and when you party, you do it right, make it simple, and you're the star because you've done all this and you make your food special. And I think there's a lot that goes on in the wintertime and the holidays. Try to keep it simple and don't sweat it. It's easy. Keep trying. And I will be bringing you more easy and simple dishes. And I'll have my friend and co-worker Hong to come try my desserts. So thank you. Welcome back, Hong. I have Hong back again to taste the be a taste tester for me. This is the saffron yogurt, which is served as a dessert, believe it or not. Because honestly, this is transformed into something else. It's not the regular yogurt that you buy. It's similar to Greek yogurt, which is essentially it's the water strained out of it. So it's thicker and creamier. See how it looks right now? It looks almost custardy, if that's a word. So do you do anything with yogurt, Hong,
No,
in Vietnam?
we just ate yogurt out of like the cups like here. We don't do anything with it. We
Okay.
don't cook with it. Yeah.
Yogurt is a big part because in India we have so many vegetarians, and that's a big part of the diet. And I grew up eating yogurt every single day. And we would eat yogurt rice. And so when we were little, you know, sometimes they gave you rice and milk, but
Yeah.
I preferred yogurt in mine.
Oh.
So I would do yogurt, rice, and pickle, but that's a savory dish. But we sometimes just ate yogurt and sugar, or, you know, so it would be when we didn't have refrigeration,
Yeah.
it would get sour, so my mother would put some sugar in it. But this dessert is something that is from my husband's side of the place. It's from Maharashtra, which is West India.
What you mean by is you buy it from there? I mean,
This dish
Imported?
is from his a
Oh, the
specialty
dish,
from his
the dish.
place, right? And it's in Bombay, you know,
Yeah.
or Mumbai. It's called now. So basically, this was what we did was strain the water completely, and did saffron. It's very easy to do, and you know, I've showed the process, and I hope you try it. And if you like it, I hope you make it.
so
It's-
how often do you make this dish for your family?
This I do very often because
Oh.
let's say, you know, sometimes I have guests who want to come and I know
Yeah.
that they are coming tomorrow and I don't have an elaborate, I don't have the luxury of time anymore to do that. So what I do is I just strain the yogurt, put it in a strainer, in a cheesecloth, or I usually even do it in a washcloth,
Yeah.
and let it sit in the fridge overnight. The next morning I mix it with sugar, and this time it's not even syrup or anything like that, just sugar and cardamom, saffron, that's it, and garnish. So it's very easy.
Caramel, you said?
Cardamom.
Oh, I guess I don't know what that is.
I'll show you what that is. So try a little
me
bit. I know.
almond.
Okay, I'm giving you a lot of almonds. How about that? I know you wanted that the last time when we did the rice. Okay, try that.
Thank you, Aditi.
And it's really custardy too. See how it looks? What do you think?
Really good. I'm not a yogurt person.
Okay.
I rarely eat yogurt, but this is good.
So yeah, I think you'd be able to make it. It's very simple, and it's a completely no cook. You just drain the water out, and this is how Greek yogurt you get at the store. So if you're in a pinch You can buy the Greek yogurt tub container, mix it with sugar, saffron, cardamom, and it looks like an elegant dessert to serve at your party. So easy things, easy desserts. You know, my whole intention is, again, I keep saying, repeating this, I make easy dishes because I want you to try. Hong, I want you to try. And so you'll start eating
You
the
know what?
strained yogurt.
I don't like to cook. I cook, but I don't like to cook. I guess because of all the preparation.
Yeah.
But all your dishes seem like you don't need a lot of preparation.
I think over the years, I've just developed things that are shortcuts, easy things to do.
Yeah.
And when I come home, you know, I love food, but I don't have the time. And, you know, my husband could eat cereal. He's not a food person, so I'm hugely the food person. And now with the kids grown and gone, you know, I need to make things very simple, easy, because I like eating. And then once it's there, of course, he eats it, you know. Yeah. So
Shadi, you have to try it later.
we keep trying to convince Dave to try our dishes. And he did like a few, Hong. He did like, which I'm surprised and pleased. And I hope you have your parents try that too. I know your mom and dad are, especially your dad is a cook. So. All right, Hong, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, Aditi. If just come and eat, then fine.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah, and you know, Hong also does a lot of camera work, and she did that today. She's what makes Medfield TV work. All the shows that you see, she puts it on, schedules them, has them go on time. So the content pretty much, you know, what she puts on TV is.
I'll be in trouble.
So, you know, if you have any requests for shows, definitely call us and Hong will put it on. Like if you want more Spice Mantra, Hong is the person that will help me put it up. All right, thank you, Hong. I appreciate you coming and you know, trying all my dessert dishes. So it's great, and happy holidays.
Thank you very much. You too.
Thank you. Thanks for watching Spice Mantra. Add some spices to your cooking. Try it. It's easy.
Production support provided by Medfield TV. Access to our community.